Hello guys, your favorite Wiggly Willy back in Path of Exile, and this episode will show you the content of the second act. If you still remember, last episode we took care of Mervale, and on behalf of the people currently residing in Lionel's Patch, we are supposed to find a way around Chevron's blockade through the forest.
I am no beast of burden.
As mentioned by the people in Lionel's Watch, Chevron isn't so stupid to completely block herself, so there must be a way to remove the blockade. In terms of off-screen gameplay, as I didn't know how much time it would take me, I made a small purchase, as we're actually going to stick to the freezing pals. I bought 2 first snow jewels to improve my skill, but I will talk about it a bit more after we are actually able to make a use of it. So, in 2 levels. Or more accurately, into skill points, because we don't know if we will be actually getting them from level ups. And those monkeys we won't fit a padded vest here, so let's get back to Lionel's Watch, let's sell our items, and let's see what the people of Lionel's Watch have to say about us taking care of Mervale and moving forward. Let's start with good old Starkly.
Damn me. I didn't think it possible. All these souls Mervale and her brood have consumed over the years. You've done right by those that are dead, and by those who still might live.
Who's the boss? Who is the boss? Haha. Not buying, selling. Wah. We're gonna start using these. 6 to fire. Dexterity is not on our priority list.
Stay sharp out there.
Quite the lady killer, aren't you? That singing squid didn't stand a chance. Knew it from the first time I saw those sharp peepers of yours. Well, pirates notwithstanding, I thank you on behalf of all the fallen brethren of the waves. Now that the final cadence has been played, No one need remember Mervale's song.
No need, indeed.
I thought you were a fool for seeking out Mervale. A fool in love with death. Now, I don't know. Still, you've delivered this coast from the terrors that long held sway here. We may now find some respite, and that's more than any of us could have hoped for. But please, consider this. What have you become when even nightmares fear you?
That's a very good point. Yeah, so we're going through the forest. Taking care of frenzied monkeys. Right, we're supposed to stitch our boots. Now, these are armor based, these are energy based, but they give a chunk of resistances, which is always very nice, and they increase our movement speed. Resistances and movement speed in shoes, especially, well, even in the late game, but especially in the early game, is very, very nice. If I was using the totem way of dealing with problems, I would probably just, you know, put one and it would shoot them like this after just one cast and bring them annihilation. Well, usually after finishing an act, plot-wise, you have a location like this, and you have to leave the location where the boss resided, and then you reach a new encampment with new characters to give quests. Or would it sound better if I said new characters to take quests from? Welcome to the forest encampment.
I am Groost. I hunt boar, hunt to feed my people. If you are not a friend to us, you'll need to run faster than boar.
That's basically setting up how the relationship will work.
Going? What do you want?
Yeah, Groost is a very peculiar person.
They fall from trees, try to swarm over you like fleas. Their chieftain, stand back when he beats his chest. Bark is worse than bite.
Yeah, it sounds a bit
if you must.
as if Groost was from Russia, but oh well.
You and me, we are the same. We dream big.
We
find
dream
new
big.
places. We do not tell stories. Stories are told about us. I learn the words, the ways of Oriath. You listen to me, and not pigheads like Groost. Then you will live to find more new places. The road, it runs east and west of here. To the west it passes the bandit woman's camp, then turns south to the sea. But you say it is now blocked. I have seen a strange thing in the rock by that south pass, like one of Groost's carvings, but of stone. You should go look at it. What has been closed might be opened again. Groost is the big man in the tribe. all do what Grus says. But his spear goes limp when faced with the 8 legs.
So he probably doesn't like spiders.
I am Yena, keeper of the spirit. Are you a kind exile like Eramir? He is good to us, helps us. You will stay and help us too, yes? A beast hunts us in her dreams, a great white beast, tortured and maddened by bad men, a long time gone. She will come here one night to tear, crush, and eat. Her pain tells her to. Find the white beast and end her pain before she shares it with us. Grust does what he thinks is right, and in Grust's dream, he is never wrong. Silk knows more than others think. He watches, he learns. Look between the words, and you'll see the truth in Silk's stories. The forest children are ill. Once they drank from fruit, ate nuts and berries. Now they drink blood, eat brain and heart. This land is in a nightmare from which it cannot wake.
So,
Stay true.
we
to
are
you.
getting sort of a feeling that, all the changes that were mentioned in the Karui carvings went like throughout the whole land, and they had their influence both on the dead and on the living. So even the animals went bonkers.
I've seen many an exile come and go, into the forest or into the ground. You seem different somehow. Different good, different bad, it's hard to tell at this stage. The name is Eramir, and for now you have the benefit of my doubt. Those bandits you've encountered out there, they're the dregs of Oriath. And with any foul broth, the nastiest chunks bubble to the surface. The lords of Larceny, Oak, Creighton, and Alira, the self-appointed monarchs of the
Well,
forest.
we haven't actually
Creighton in
fought
the
with
east,
bandits
Alira
yet,
in the
so
west, Oak in the north, and
there's a
this
plot hole
village,
here.
this tribe, we pay their taxes. I would never venture to say that life in Rayclust is easy, but with those 3 gone, well, living here might just become possible.
Okay. We've talked
There you
with a
were.
couple of characters.
Greetings.
There's also Einhar, who is not a typical character. He's more like
What?
Navali. They both introduce new features to the game. As I mentioned before, she's responsible for handling the prophecy system in terms of features. Einhar has a menagerie. Basically, when he appears on a map, it means that there's a beast to hunt. Or more precisely, when you find a beast, it turns out that apart from it, there are always a couple of more on the map, which Einhar wants to capture. He's a funny guy, you're gonna see it later.
Hello. This is our home. We hunt, we grow, we build. Your kind in the forest kill, steal, and burn. Soon they will take it all, leave us no food. Then we must move, leave our home.
Kinda funny because actually, well, I wouldn't say that those people are natives here. still they think of themselves as fans. So
Silk is no hunter. Silk scares children with stories at fire time. That 8-leg he wears, he did not kill it. Found it in the forest dead of age. I would like to see Silk face live 8-leg one day. See him wrapped up for lunch.
yeah, clearly we have a rivalry set up here.
Yina thinks she knows the spirit, that it talks to her. She talks to herself.
Yeah, he's a douche.
We are Asmeri. You are not. Eramir is not. Life was good when it was just Asmeri.
Yeah, he's feeding us with that Asmeri bullshit.
The day has dawned. Many exiles come this way. Eramir is not like them, not like you. He is an old man with many stories. He teaches us words that you can understand. He teaches we Asmeri to be strong, not in our arms and legs like Grust, strong in our heads. I like Yina. She thinks bigger than this place. She knows there is more to life than hunting and growing Morka. There is spirit. Her fur, her skin, it reminds me of biting winter. I see her one night, follow her to a cave in the old fields to the east. Listen to her howl at the stars. A sad, sad sound. Great white beast, she full of old pain.
Yes? Eramir was a wise man in Oriath. He is our wise man now. Hear him. You will learn much. If you do not hear, you will likely die. Be well.
Greetings. The Asmeri. The culture that descended from the Asmerian mountains and founded the Eternal Empire so long ago. Not that these people have any understanding of their lineage. Their history, identity, all but destroyed in the Cataclysm. These Asmeri took in a disowned son of Oriath, fed me, healed me. To repay my debt, I've taken in the orphans of a dead empire. A large heart, yet so little sense to go with it. Yina dabbles in things she should not. The spirit she obsesses over. If she is not careful, she will find herself joining it. Grust is the strong right arm of this tribe. No man hunts better, and no man could do more to protect the ones he loves. Tales and songs are Silk's meat and drink. Would have made a fine bard in the old empire. Were a fraction of what he says true, we'd have nothing to fear from bandit nor beast, with Silk among us. I've read about Shavron of Umbra, and what she did to the warden at Axiom. You did well to end Brutus's sorry existence. But Chevron's barricade, that's sad news indeed. There is little enough freedom in Rayclast as it is, but to be stranded on that dismal coast, I pity the exiles to come. Would I know how to lower the barricade? Afraid not. I was a bit distracted the last time I took the pass. Hungry goatmen to avoid on that side, Alira's thralls on this side. I embraced the patronage that High Templar Dominus offered my struggling museum. I took his favor and conducted his research into the thaumaturgical arts practiced within the Eternal Empire. I wish I'd known then what I know now. That I was pandering to the warped dreams of a madman. Keep your wits about you.
So, general as the idea is that we had the Asmeri. They were living in the mountains. They descended into the continent. And, well, there's a small gap here. But at one point, after the dominant nation of the continent extinguished, they started the Eternal Empire. So, they're not really struggling to, you know. But, of course, on the one hand, they are struggling with the arrival of exiles from Oriath, but they are really survivors of an apocalyptic catastrophe, and not that whole shit with, oh, save the bears, save the trees, blah blah blah. I think they're just a bit, you know, heavy on the head with all their troubles, and they went a bit primal. As we will see, well, they have some problems of their own. And if you consider how each character talks about the other ones, it's safe to say that the sooner we take care of what we are supposed to do here, the better for us. Let's start with going to the old fields and checking up on the beast mentioned by Yenna and see what's actually going on here. We have some scarecrows.
I am no beast of burden.
Alright, yeah, we've got some new items and I forgot to sell them. Silly me.
What troubles you bring now?
Ah,
Rocks and water. They move and live like monkey and viper. They die like monkey and viper too. There is no heart to see, but there is a heart to stab, if you can find it with your spear.
so we've got a bit of insight on the enemies we can find in the fields. So we have our first meeting with the bandits. As you can see, these are associated with Satan. And if you remember the previous act, basically the beginning of it, we read Clayton's letter of exile. And there was a shitload of things he did back in Oriath, for which he was sentenced to exile. Okay, here we have the exit to the crossroads. Let's actually try to see how we would be doing with a totem. We're one-shotting most of them nicely. Very interesting thing. There are some rogue exiles that we can come across during our adventures. They are using skills which are available to us. And they usually have a lot of equipment if we dispose of them. We got a unique ring and an armor that will provide us with a chromatic orb. So, fire resistance, mana, life, shield, you name it. And it gives us almost the same amount of mana that we have now. Since our other ring is shitty, I will stay with the mana one anyway. As I mentioned, more mana means faster mana regeneration. Yeah, for now, our totem is a bit slow. Still, the damage is enough to let us progress. And as you can see, it's quite safe. The totem can take care of our problems off screen. It can shot multiple times before disappearing. Yeah, I know what word you wanna use to describe it, and I'm totally 100% on the same page as you on this. It's lazy as hell. And we've got Mr. Whitey here, the great white beast. A big white bear. Shit. Yeah, the bear is more interested most of the time with the totem, so we are quite safe. Wah! Yeah, fighting a single enemy would be actually quicker if we were using Freezing Pulse on our own. But it's a matter of 10 skill points to change it all in the favor of the totems totally. We're almost full that we're gonna be going to the camp anyway, but we might as well go to the crossroads, find a waypoint there, and use it to go back to the village while exploring at the same time. The exploration is quite easy here. It's like, you know, trying to get to the Wizard of Oz. You just have to follow the road. Let's make use of our new toy. So, 2 points here in order to unlock a special slot for a jewel socket, and bam! We put it in. Okay, first I have to accept this. Now we put it in. There's a requirement of having at least 40 intelligence in the radius to have additional effects. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's already working. And how does it look now? Well, we've got 3D projector. Same cost, more range, a wider range, so it's a great thing. Game changer. We've got our waypoint.
Hello.
First let's sell. And now we have enough intelligence to actually use the dagger. We won't, because you cannot mix daggers with wands, but we're gonna leave it for later.
The white beast spirit is at rest. No more pain. Take this in thanks from me and from the suffering animal that you have helped.
So, we helped a corrupted animal
There is land that has
get
forgotten the
its
spirit.
peace back.
Some man told the rocks and water a different dream. Now the rocks and water think they are man.
Okay, we've got cold here, an energy shield. Here we have lightning, an energy shield, and blah 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 other stuff. Well, Since strength gives you health points, I'm gonna switch to it. Back to the crossroads. As you can see, it's it leads to 3 other locations, and well, taking each route will lead us to a different place. Let's start with the broken bridge. You see that there are some lore objects here, but I'm not gonna check them now because it's gonna be back and forth a bit. So I'm gonna check them while doing my last appearance in this location. You have to get used to this kind of playing style. It's different from what the game usually gives you. Still very slow. Lazy. Okay, let's try to make it a bit faster. Shit. we've got our waypoint while following the road. And we've got the bridge.
You're trouble. I like that. Now what I don't like, Oaken and Lyra and their thieving mongrels. They keep taking what's mine. I'm thinking you could do something about that. What's in it for you? The amulets around Oaken and Lyra's necks. The ones like mine here. There's power in them beyond reckoning. Take 2 heads and 2 amulets. Bring them to me. And take half the power. That add up right for you?
Well, morality is put aside. We're not gonna really benefit too much from the increased attack speed and cast speed, the dodging, and the movement speed. It's totally not what we need. Unfortunately for Kraken,
Not even the life you wasted on spite and avarice.
he's no match for us. I would even say that we didn't even sweat. Now, let's use the principle discussed while going through the beach before entering Mervale's cavern. Exploration should be done while going through the edge of the map.
With you.
Yeah, we're going through them like a hot knife through butter. and at least for some time now, this is how it's gonna be. We've got the shrine, now we're a bit bigger. No trouble at all. Okay, more or less cleared. Now, they want us to go to the other side of the forest. Come on. Something is definitely not right here. Let's try to launch it again. We're back in the camp. As you can see, we've got a new exclamation mark here. Let's see what Grust wants.
I have seen warriors in black in the east. They are from your Oriath. Better fed, better armed than you, Exile. Oriath did not want you, so why does it follow you here? You will understand what you see more than I. Go east and find these warriors in black.
Delicious.
If there is
Okay.
danger to us, I need to learn of it. Unclean. Do not eat of the trees surrounding the Chamber of Sins. Do not drink of the water, and do not rest. The beasts there look weak, born badly. They are faster, stronger than they seem.
Let's see what other people have to say about it.
Going?
The Chamber of Sins? Apparently, the late Archbishop Geoffrey of Frisia gave it that title. It was built by Emperor Titus for one Inquisitor Maragaro. How do I know this? To my shame, I did Dominus's dirty work in the selfish hopes of scholarly advancement. I scoured fragments of documents brought back by Fairgraves and Doresso before his disgrace. I unearthed all I could on the Eternal Empire's masters and mistresses of thaumaturgy, a subject of keen interest to our supposedly devout High Templar. If I were you, I'd avoid Malagaro's old laboratory, a place of illness infected by a diseased mind.
Well, that certainly is gonna make us go there even more keenly.
The scarred one is no more. I wish I could say that this bodes well for us, but with Creighton gone, Oak and Alira will only grow stronger. The High Templar's blackguards? They're here, rubbing shoulders with us mere exiles? A mystery indeed, and so near the Chamber of Sins. Whatever they want with that foul place, it won't be for the betterment of humanity.
Okay, we've got the scholarly-like feedback.
Keep your wits about you. Fare you well.
How can I help? Great white beast is dead. Then make a tale, a song to sing, of the mighty Exile and their teacher, Silk the Wise. Many will be impressed, yes?
Yeah, we've got another guy after Tarkly who wants to have something out of being in our surroundings.
You are well?
Okay. Let's do some net buying. And maybe. Yay, we've got a grand flask. Funny thing, it can restore more than we actually have. So, if we got some feedback on the Chamber of Sins, why not explore it? More of Creighton's followers. And here we have some dead guys. Oh, but why should I spoil the whole fun? See for yourself what they're made of. Not the brightest guys. I would at least assume that the dead ones are a bit more intelligent, because they already, you know, had some battle experience. Some people never learn. And here it is.
The lair of a toy maker with pretensions of godhood.
That's a very accurate description of Maligaro. Yeah, he had a thing for spiders also. It's not a coincidence. We've got new mechanisms here. Previously we only had dogs, which after being killed spread fire. Now we have some undead who spread some disease. Black Death. That's like the horse in Manor's Dark Avenger. Very nice song. Has a very interesting part of narration in it. The most popular version has the narration made by Orson Welles, but Christopher Lee also did one. Yeah, dead. Not very bright, not very fast. And if you are both, you can get even more deader. It's not a real word, but it suits the situation. We have a place of interest here. There's some lore and a waypoint.
It must give way to the day.
At least it should, Mr. Templar. At least it should. Now we've got 2 points to spend. You see that there's a staircase hidden somewhere here. I'm happy with how the progression goes. Easy peasy. Okay, here we have level 2. So, let's keep exploring level 1. Man.
I am no beast of burden.
Yeah, we'll have to do a little switcheroo here. You're no beast of burden, but hell. It's at least tidy up. Not gonna work for long. But it's gonna work good enough for us to do some exploring. Use the waypoint, this one, to go back, sell it, and return to Ask Open. Oh, a very nice orb. We need to invest in some movement games. For now I was just talking about those which actually let you damage and those that give additional effects. So they support your attack game. But there are also movement games which let you travel faster, travel through some obstacles, and make some crazy jukes when the monsters want to kill you. And there are different movement games depending on what weapons you're using.
Inquisitor. If you attempt to transmogrify a virtue gem without the proper mental preparation, you will be a puppet master working strings made of vipers. Remember, these gems are phantasms in crystalline form, alive, with volitions inscrutable. Master conscious dreaming, as I instructed you. Your death would mean little to me, Malagaro. It's what your demise could unleash that concerns me. Malachi.
So, we've got another quite, well, corrupted place, I would say, in which Malachi gives some instructions to certain people concerning experiments.
Hello.
Sick. Okay, let's make some comparison. I'm gonna sell it just because it doesn't have nice slots. This one actually gives us 2 resistances. And I'd say we have a winner. How about the helmet? Fire and lightning. Light, life. Bullshit. Lightning. Nada. So let's put the spell totem here. Let's switch these. Let's keep getting experience for this stone and where was it? They sell it. Oh, we've got actually 2. Happens.
What troubles you bring?
What troubles I bring now? Your mama. Ah! What can we actually do now? Okay, let's try to visit the top here ASAP. We need 1, 2, 3 points to reach a game changer for us, guys. Yeah, we've got a creature here. So, Einhar will be here any moment now. Ooh! Shit! Shit! Yeah, come on, Einhar. Use that machine gun of yours. Shit. Shit. Yeah, Willy, you mentioned you wanna use some navigation, movement, whatever skills, and you didn't buy any. Wow. Shit, that was close. Okay, so now, until we catch all 4 creatures, Einhar will follow us. Sometimes he can even assist us with boss fights if the creature is on the same sub-level. So sometimes even if you use a door, you're on the same level, but in a different place. This was the case, for example, when we were in the Warden's quarters. We used the door, but we just, you know, exited a bit further in a different place. So if we were... Oh, thanks. If we were going from level 1 of the Chamber of Sins to level 2, he wouldn't go with us. Now, nice thing. If something's unidentified and you're a bit scared that it might get you, you can just identify it like any other thingy. It freezes you. Yeah, so that's a no-go for me. I'm quite squishy. And I'm not even if I have Einhar, I don't wanna check if my potions would sustain me for long enough for me to regain my walking temperature. Later, of course, I will have potions for situations like this. I will be able to escape from there very quickly. Here we have another trial, and it introduces this kind of a lady thing. Last time we had spikes, this time we have blades. So you just have to time your movement, sometimes jump over them. And this is annoying. Here you have to use a switch to stop one of them. you can make a gap for yourself to move between them. Yeah, sometimes I miss. Bye bye, Mr. Spider.
You will be a survivor, or you will be.
Back to exploring. One creature left over here. You already saw it. Got it. Blue ones are a bit less dangerous. So let's go. Okay, so here they just had onslaught. We don't care about monsters having onslaught. To make use of onslaught, you have to be alive. Sometimes it's good to omit the last monster if you know where it is. So Einhar helps you.
He tastes me. My god hasn't abandoned me.
You were saying something, Piety? Huh?
That thing! It slaughtered everyone! Help me!
Okay, so we have a Helena here. She's a black guard and she's in need of help. Oh, and we have a boss monster here. Fidelitas the Morning. If someone is named Fidelitas, it probably is connected with fidelity. Yeah, easy
I
that
bequeath
one.
this transmuter device to you, Inquisitor Maligaro, in recognition of your devotion to our sublime art. May it be the chariot that conveys your dreams into reality. Malachi, Thaumaturge Laureate to the Empire.
So, whoever Maligaro was, he used his inventions on someone probably close to him and turned him into that Fidelitas.
Piety was after a creation of Meligaro's called the Baleful Gem. It's nearby and it's something that heartless bitch must never get her hands on.
Mind your words,
You have it
lady.
already. Thank innocence. All right, take it to the Esmeri village by the river. I'll meet you there. For my days with the Ebony Legion are done.
Yes, so she's deserting. And that's all in terms of plot what can be achieved here. So let's find that last creature for Einhar and let's go back. Yeah, those lonely sparks beating on the walls, while the skeletons who cast them are already dead. Woohoo! Where's Einhard? Come on, catch it.
An exhilarating hunt, Exile. Now it is
Thanks.
time for Einar to go to Einar business.
Yeah, and it's time for Willy to go to the Wiggly business.
The Oriathan girl. She is alive. She wants to stay with us, not to go back to her people. I say we take her traitor's heart to the chief. Ask that the warriors in black leave us be. I sleep less, but no more, thanks to you. Helena gave me these. Use it or cast it away. I do not care. I have no time for Helena's breed of peace.
Yeah, a ghost is too important for anything. Not that we're gonna use any of them, but a reward is a reward. And we have some thing Yenna wants to tell us. First, let's check on Helena.
I gave the Ebony Legion my faith and my loyalty, and it offered me nothing but fear and death in return. Thank you for freeing me from both. I have nothing to give you but my gratitude and my knowledge. I know you have no use for the former, so let's hope the latter makes up for it. Piety led us into that wretched place in the hopes of finding a device named simply the Spike. Fashioned by Inquisitor Meligaro, it was said to enable the injection of Calibric Extantia into living flesh. Calibric Extantia being the corrupt energies locked within virtue gems. We couldn't find the Spike, yet we met its most successful application. Meligaro had an assistant, a man named Raulo. If Meligaro's records spoke truly, Raulo offered himself freely as a test subject. With the Spike, Meligaro injected Raulo with a high dose of Calibric Extantia, thus gifting the poor man with both endless life and horrific deformity. In honor of his sacrifice to Meligaro's work, the Inquisitor gave Raulo a new name, Fidelitas.
Fidelitas. Yeah, I'm gonna call him Fidelitas anyway.
I thought Dominus was a leader of vision, of purpose, the man who would resurrect the eternal empire. In truth, Dominus is only after power, the black thaumaturgical power locked within the virtue gems. He wishes to create a new empire, one in his own image. I drank every night to try and wipe that image from my mind. It's still there.
Well, you just escaped, and it's like you're talking as if it was a month or a year. So, yeah, it's not. Sometimes those itsy bitsy parts of dialogues don't have the correct level of accuracy.
Our expedition made camp in the Western Forest while Piety took a few men through the pass to Axiom Prison. She was after the research notes of one Chevron of Umbra, a witch who devoted herself to the study of transfiguration during the latter days of the Eternal Empire. Piety returned alone and disturbingly happy with her findings. I've learnt that when Piety is happy, misery is soon to follow for everyone else.
So, in order to find Piety, and probably the key to opening the blockade, we need to go west. As you can see, Helena is managing hideouts. Hideouts can be unlocked throughout the game while visiting specific locations. If Helena deems them suitable to be occupied, Then it's ours for taking if we clear it.
According to his notes, the baleful gem was a byproduct of Meligaro's attempts to enhance the already formidable qualities of virtue gems. It was an abject failure, yet Meligaro wasn't one to waste his atrocities. By combining the baleful gem with the venom extracted from one of his arachnid subjects, he brewed something called Black Elixir. He proudly proclaimed it to be the most potent poison in existence, until it was stolen by a man named Victario. It was rather entertaining to read Meligaro's intentions for Victario once he caught the man. Twisted, yet I can't fault the Inquisitor's creativity.
I have story for you. A good story, but not finished. I go into Eight-Leg Forest in southwest. Meet the mother of all 8 legs. We fight. Big fight. From sunrise to sunset. I stick my best spear in mother's eye and return to village.
Yeah,
Must
you
not
don't
stay
seem
away
to be
too
a
long.
fighter type.
Must protect my people. Now my best spear still in mother's eye. Eramir said to leave it there. That my spear is a thing made for dark science, whatever that be. No, I want it back. But Mother Eightleg would smell me from far off. Catch me by surprise. She doesn't know your smell. So you go. Get my spear. Finish good story with good ending. I like this new Oriathan woman. She has new stories, not like Eramir, who only speak of that which is dead and dust. Yes, I have many questions for this Helena.
So she seems to fit.
The spirit is strong in Fellshrine. You touch the stones, you will feel it. They spoke to me, those stones. Told me to take their altar, and to find the hand of a good man. He lived in that church, as you call it. The altar is his, and it will wake when he touches it once more. You could find the good man, bring me his hand. When the spirit of the altar awakes, I will share it with you, I promise.
Okay.
Silk knows
No,
more than
not
others
Silk.
think.
Helena.
Helena is healing. I make sure of that. But you want to know if you can trust her. I see her spirit. It was born good and needs work to keep it that way. Much like yours.
Aww.
If Silk's story of the Mother of 8 Legs is true, then you should go get the spear from her. The creatures near the Chamber of Sins have suffered from a twisting of their spirits. They are sick and angry. If this happens to the 8 Legs, we will all suffer from their fever.
So somehow, Silk came into the possession of Maligaro's spike. He was using it to fight a big spider, but he failed. And although the spider is still alive, he's being corrupted by the spike.
Greetings. I have spoken with Helena of Dominus and his expedition. It all sounds horribly plausible. Whether we can fully trust what she tells us, time will tell if her torn loyalties are to mend in our favor. Show me this gem from the Chamber of Sins. It has the aspect of a virtue gem like those you carry already. Yet it's clearly not made to slot into any of your standard equipment. Look at the color. Feel the energy coming off it. Maligaro had little virtue in mind when he made this thing. Could be the nasty piece of work Silk picked up near the Chamber of Sins. Looks too much like Maligaro's dark science to me. If you can talk Silk into giving it to you, do history a favor and sink that spike to the bottom of the river.
Well, doing that would probably kill all life. Drinking from it.
Silk has the mind of a blood monkey. That spear stinks of sickness. And you were a monkey too, if you believe his story. Stuck in Mother 8-Leg? More like he dropped it when he ran away from Baby 8-Leg.
Well, it still seems more plausible than listening to you, douchebag.
I have no use for Helena's kind of peace.
Okay.
Return
So,
if you must.
we finally have our final reason to visit the crossroads. And now we can do some proper exploring. And as you can see, we're gonna meet Einhar once more. I'm gonna make a small detour.
We will be best friends, Beast.
And by
until we
that,
slaughter you.
I mean going back to the beginning of the road. And starting the exploration from there. Wah! That's that. We've been hitting the weapon while we were here previously. Let's start from the bottom. Jesus. Ah. That is the exit. So there's not much exploring here on this side. Etchings on wood 4. So, items of lore in this location are providing us with a story. So, let's keep the correct order and return here later. Here we'll probably have number 3. Yep. Eramir. Not Eramir. Einhar, sorry.
You are captured.
I am no
Yeah.
beast of burden.
You're no beast of burden, but you're also not doing any tidying here. You're a beast of bad excuses, that's for sure. So, there are gonna be 4 lore objects, and we don't have to check the top. But actually we do, because there's one more beast.
I haven't slept. No one has slept. Not for 3 days, not since the black storm in the northern ranges. Not since the nightmares began. Violent and twisted night terrors. They whisper to us, tempt us, threaten us, beguile us. They promise terrible things in return for even more terrible acts. My husband, Daenerys, went to Alliston to find a doctor who might help. He should have been back yesterday. I fear for him. I fear for all of us.
So here we actually have a report of something that happened in the north from here, somewhere there, which shows the perspective of the villagers on what probably was the source of the corruption described by the tree.
It has been a little over a week since the Black Storm. My husband has not returned, and sickness now sweeps through our village. Many have died, and those who have lived have changed. These were folk we once called neighbor and friend. Now they limp and stagger through the night, their deformities as grotesque as the madness in their eyes.
So, time has passed a bit. They went bunkers, and that's never good. Let's deal with that animal, so we can let Einhar do Einhar business. Yeah, they don't actually stand a chance. That's a bit sad. If I knew that someone was going through my forest and did nothing of the numbers of my friends, who are now all dead, that would be the day that I would achieve a record in super fast running. Oh, I have a ghost here.
That was a hunt you will not soon forget. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Yeah. Worst deal ever. Going into a monster that was almost dead. Oh, I have a monster here. Bravalo. Got a huge hammer. And he thought he was resistant to cold. Ah!
The moon was full the night of the Black Storm. It is full again. They have come for me. They have come for my daughters. Bravalo called out while the others skulked and muttered in the darkness. Corrin went to them, arms open, welcoming. The nightmares told her to. My uncle tried to stop her. Bravalo crushed his skull with his smith's hammer. I barred the doors and windows, but they screamed like monkeys and beat themselves bloody trying to get in. I had no choice. I took my two youngest and fled through the cellar, following the tunnel to the mill. All we can do is hide and hope. God help us.
So he was a blacksmith. And, well, the corruption ate him through to the bone.
3 Lunari gone now since it all began. Perhaps I am the only one who still looks upon Lunaris, who remembers her name. Soon, I will be gone, and the moon will go on alone. My husband has returned, and he hunts for me. My dead husband hunts me. Corrin, too, and my uncle. Corpses rise and walk and feed. My girls, they walk now and feed. God has forsaken us. Lunaris is my witness. Tonight, I return to my family.
So we've got a crossover episode with The Walking Dead. The villagers came tainted. We don't know by what yet. They started killing each other. And those who died killed the rest. So it's a mix of corruption and disease which turned the dead into undead. Well, we might as well visit the crossroads and sell our junk after going through the waypoint.
And so your path leads you here, Exile. Be careful where you step. For as one foot leads the other, so too does each foot leave its mark. A trace of what was, a guide to what will be.
Yeah, we're doing a butterfly effect moonwalk here. Wow. Not usable. Well, it's a bit. Although I would like to use the rarity, but let's focus on survival. Ah. Yet what did I previously say that it's a dagger? It was a wand. Shit! Okay, although this one has a bigger bonus, I'm gonna cease using it because it has only 2 slots. And if you wanna check the difference, with this one it's 246, and with this one it's 300. Yeah, that's what you get for having increased spell damage twice and added cold damage to spells. If this one actually had different colors, we would be using it with this tool to have increased lightning damage. But not yet. Back to exploring through the road. We have the fox following us again. Seems like a not really relevant detail, but it's of more importance than you think. Another level up. Wow. Good that we're still early in the game. So it wasn't fatal. Let's see what the plague says.
On this day, the second Sacrato of Verusi, 1334 IC, the army of purity remembers its most devout and beloved servant, Archbishop Geoffrey of Frisia. As spoken by Geoffrey, only will and truth can prevail over the evil of our own king.
Let me read.
High Templar Vol, commander of the army of purity.
So, it seems that Archbishop Geoffrey don't mix him with Geoffrey Baratheon, was a very good person, supposedly, in terms of lawfulness, and while the church was still here, he was probably, you know, doing all that sermon stuff, and after his death, he has been laid in the crypt.
A house of faith, fallen to desecration.
Exactly. Thank you for your help, little Willy. After the corruption spread, Even the most saint of them all woke up as desecrated monsters. So we're gonna have to take Joffrey's hand from him. And well, considering him being an archbishop, it's probably a relic. So there's gonna be an altar with his hand in it. And most probably Joffrey himself wandering somewhere nearby. Shit happens.
I am no beast of burden.
I bet you were exiled for not tidying up your stuff. That's my guess. Well, we're not gonna be checking on the tails for the labyrinth. Since, as I mentioned, we're already up to date because I already made and completed them before starting this playthrough. Or I actually might, just to show you what kind of mechanisms are introduced. But the first trials are really just an introduction of what might actually happen when one would go to the labyrinth. Okay. Looks like a place in which an altar should start. Man. So, we have a big skeleton here. Sure. They wanna slow us down, wear us down, and kill. He's probably without a hand behind that shield. And he's down. Let's take the ring, it's the most important thing that we can get. And here is the altar. Let's get back. Where the level starts. Oh, maybe finally box without this shit. Listen. Okay. It revives. Has some items. spreads a cloud of stinky boo-boo and summons an exile. Eat ice. And we've got a wand. No point in checking the rest. The more you play, in terms of progression, the less shit you should pick up from the ground. When you don't have anything, well, any item might help. Just for some basic recipes, to get some stuff from the NPCs, but later it's all about some yellow items, depending on what you're using, currency, and well, of course, apart from uniques, and some things like essences, other fractions of content enablers. Because you sometimes have to collect some shards from monsters in order to gain access to some place. Levels. Yeah, and well, at the same time, I hope that I will be able to level up and maybe also get some skill points from bringing the hand. The tile itself won't have enough experience points in it, so monster that I would crash. That's why I made that detour. One, two, three. Guys, now the fun starts. This is Ancestral Bond. It makes me unable to use any attack skills, but by the powers combined, now I can have two totems at the same time. And they're dealing 270 damage points per second. Whirling posts. It's all about timing. Now they will go a bit further. Yeah, it's good to have a thing like a healing totem. Because you never know how much those shitty traps will take from you. Time to go back. Portals, portals, portals.
Hello.
Okay, first let's sell the loot. Okay, it just requires too much dexterity. Nope. Nope. Well, we have a winner, but in order to use it, I need to change colors on this one. Now, these are the items I collected during my previous playthrough in Legion. This is a special stash tab used just for currency items. Gonna be the first time since I play this character that I get rid of these. It's a great thing to have. It's not in the game by default. I used the in-game microtransactions to get it. Not a must, but it's very handy. It's more handy than certainly some card stashes, essence stashes. But if you're into late game, you surely should have a map stash also. Yeah, and they're not paying me to tell you this, that you should make those purchases. I just tell it from my experience. So, let's fix the cams from this, and let's try to change it into a red, blue, blue. It's random, so come on, Right. So, now, spell totem, freezing pulse, and added lightning damage. So now it's with just one wand, 274. Now, we take the second wand, and it's 307, because like we have a 30% spell damage increase. We're gonna keep working with this. Don't need this. Yeah, this one will improve our clearing even more, but we need to have a higher level for it. 12 levels more, and I'm gonna scavenge it from the dead body of my previous guy here. Now, we've got a mana ring. It gives us some random stuff, but it's still better than a normal item. So let's just
Eat fast.
equip it. Okay, and we don't need this, don't need this. Tidy it up a bit. I shouldn't be even having this in my equipment, I should leave it. But I'm not gonna do it just yet. I need to get my teleportation scrolls back and let's talk to Ian.
You are Dream Tender, my new name for you. Badness is everywhere around us. You bring us something good. Now, I promise to share. Let us awaken the spirit, bring even more good into this life.
And we got jewels. Let's take this one. And we've got Book of Regrets. So more points for respecking. Okay, so now, after a small break, which you won't see but you might hear, we're gonna go to the Western Forest. Okay. Yeah, now it's very nicer. We can secure the front of our exploration path while leaving the old totem to guide our back. Or we can use them simultaneously for some good or annihilation. This is the first time we are actually dealing with certain obstacles on the road. It's a bit different to blocked corridors in the Chamber of Sins. If we had a movement skill, we could just jump over that part of the missing bridge. But we're gonna do it the good old-fashioned way. So we're gonna find a detour. And get some experience. As I mentioned before, the playthrough is not gonna be in any way aiming towards speeding things up, because, well, if it comes to all those locations around the crossroads, for example, usually when I play the game, I just go through them all one by one at the same time without even going to the village. I kill Kraten. I take care of Joffrey. Then I go to the Chamber of Sins, and only then I return to the camp. Well, it's definitely high time to introduce movement-related mechanisms. So as soon as we check on the most western part of the forest, the one in which piety supposedly has her camp in, on the other side of the barricade, then we will get a movement gem. Got a waypoint here. It's because we can either go up here to the wetlands. It's because of the bandits, or we can continue going through here and check on the eastern forest. Western. Yeah, western. Okay. Really. And by the way, cheers to the guy who, on my last episode, commented that my voice makes him wanna drown a child. That's hilarious. My voice is awesome. Still, thank you for your feedback. I like interacting with viewers, even if they have enough, like after my introduction. Okay, so it's a level requirement, so we don't have to worry about it now. It's all gonna come to us in time. Okay, so we're just running forward. And it's all falling down. Yeah, sorry, Captain Arteri. You're no match for the Wiggly totems.
Arteri, my beautiful captain. I wish it were not you, but I cannot bring myself to trust any other with this most vital of tasks. This is the only pass between the inner and outer empire. No further exiles are to enter the inner empire. We have material enough for our work. Ensure that the barricade remains in place, and if any exile should somehow pass through, kill them. I will send for you when my work is complete in San. Until we share our next night together. Piety.
Well, that didn't work. Ha! And we've got the way clearer. From here, we can go to another location apart from the prisoner's gate. But it doesn't mean that only finding the door to it is the only thing you can do. Yeah, here we have Alira's camp. It's one of the leaders. And the thing with Alira is that she is actually useful.
I caught some rats in my traps today. They told me an amusing tale. Their rat king, Creighton, dead. Can't say I'm surprised. You've a powerful aura on you, bright as a sunset before a storm. So let me rub an idea against that hot spirit of yours, see if it catches fire. The amulet I wear, sister to the one you took from Creighton, Oak has its triplet. There's power in these trinkets, enchantment enough to keep my tribe safe. Go north, bring me an amulet, and Oak's lying tongue, and I'll make you part of that power. You need friends in Rayclast, and believe me, I can be a fine friend.
Uh-huh. So, 5 mana regeneration per second, an improvement to the global critical strike multiplier, and 15 to all resistances. She's doing a very hard bargain, to be honest. Usually spellcasters go for it. I'm gonna give her some time for now. Gonna have to look a bit more at the tea. It's a shame to admit, but I will probably accept her idea. So I will kill Oak and leave her alone. Why am I not actually worried about leaving a totem behind and running forward without checking the loot? Well, apart from the fact that if it was something really worth picking up, I would have a specific sound played while it was dropping, while it would be dropping to the ground, and it would leave a mark on the map. So basically most of the stuff I pick up now is shit. Or it doesn't have any additional purpose. So I don't really have to worry. So we have some spider web appearing on the environment. That means we're getting closer to the lair of the 8 legs.
We, the Court of Reckoning, find you, Doedri Stamatis, guilty of the following transgressions against God: perversion of God's creation, promotion of heretical beliefs, unlawful enslavement of eternal citizens, torture of the innocent, murder of the servants of purity. For these most severe crimes, I do sentence Doedri Darktongue to burn at the stake till naught is left but ash. May her life serve as penance for the lives she has taken, and let purity sweep away the dust of her deeds from our firmament. High Templar Vol, Commander of the Army of Purity.
So, actually this proclamation is done by a different person than we are used to, because all sentences were given and carried out by Dominus, and this one was done by Vol. As Dominus was the person who also exiled us, so he's like the current lawgiver. So this sentence must have been given way earlier. Enough exploring. Usually it was a bit off from the key location, so I think it might be RNG or just Triple G decided to make the players check on the lore a bit more frequently. Usually I wouldn't be playing like that, but I'm totally aware that in most cases I'm very, very secure. So I don't have to run immediately away from the enemies. No one shooting at the face will happen to me. So the designers really wanted, you know, the player to get connected with his character before shit hits the fan. Of course, if I would stand in one place, Death would be imminent and would probably occur in a couple of seconds. Ah. Try to develop more offense and defense. Yeah, so that info gave you shit. I'm gonna build up more offense and defense, yeah. I'm gonna cover it in a couple of seconds as soon as the spiders are down. So we have Maligaro's spike here. So our green friend with long hair didn't really lie.
That spear. Yes, that is my best spear. The one I stuck in eye of old Mother Eightleg. I think you keep it now. Let the beasts and bandits fear you even more. It is my gift to you, from one hero to another. Wait, no, you need more than just spear and happy words for this great deed. You kill Mother of all Eightlegs.
Ah.
Prize. Here, when I found my spear in the forest, I found these too. You will take, yes?
Yes, I will take. Okay. So, our skill is support with this one, this one, this one. So 3. This one increases our cast speed, so the totems would shoot faster. Mana multiplier 120%, so it means that the skill will use an additional 20%. Well, it's an improvement, but what are our other options? Control distraction. The multiplier is bigger, but we have 26% more spell damage, while we lose critical strike chance 100%. Now, have in mind that it doesn't mean that we're not gonna crit at all, because the strike chance is additive. So it's not reducing, at least in terms of the skill, right? It's not reducing our critical strike chance to 0. It just lowers it by 100%. So if we have a really big critical strike chance, and that's what we will be aiming at, we will be just getting more damage with just losing an itsy bit of critical chance. And here we have more elemental damage, but no alignments. And alignments are really important for us because of the cold damage stopping power. So this is a no-go for us. This one gives more cast speed, but it's like 1/5. And this one already has 26. And even at the beginning, I think it's better to have higher basic spell damage, even if we're sacrificing some crit rate, because well, in the early hours you're not really counting on luck and RNG. You just want that flat shit to pulverize your enemies. So I'm gonna pick Controlled Distraction.
The path to the sea is open. You are a legend that lives, Exile.
That's me, Wiggly Willy. Now, one also thing. Let's see if we profit more from lightning damage or from the Controlled Distraction. 368, almost 369, let's say. 358. Probably calculating our critical rate. But let's see how will it look when it levels up a bit.
Piety would have concurred with Eramir's theory about that northwestern ruin. The Val were a powerful civilization predating even the Eternal Empire, and Piety very much wanted to see what toys the Val might have left for her to play with behind those stone doors. Yet we couldn't budge them, not with that giant of a tree holding them fast in her roots. You now carry a cure to that problem, or rather a useful illness. Use the spike to inject the baleful gem's calibric extantia into the roots. One day soon, Piety will find her way into that ruin. You need to get there first.
So we are supposed to destroy an obstacle to get there first.
I greet you. Viper eats monkey, monkey eats viper. The forest is hurt, confused. It fights with itself. There is no peace for us in this war. Stay true to you.
The baleful gem and Maligaro's spike. I'd wager these two grotesqueries were made for each other. A marriage born in darkness. My advice? Send them to their wedding bed. The riverbed.
Nope.
The fell shrine is a shadow of what was once good in Rayclast. That sigil etched into its stones, it's a descry from when the Templar truly stood for something. To the ancestors of Ariath, the descry was a flickering torch in the night, a source of inspiration and comfort. Sad thing about torches, they go out. The end of learning is the...
Their skin makes good boots. Their spit makes painful death.
Okay,
Travel far.
we got introduced to the Val, and from what we are told, they predate the Esmeri on the continent. They were well, they were behind most of the progress behind the Esmeri, but something went wrong, both in the case of the Val and in the case of the Esmeri Eternal Empire. Let's check on our buddies in Lionized Watch and see how they react to the news of the route being open.
A stranger like no other faced the wall of the Umbra, opened a pass in a sorry land, gave some hope to a sorry band of exiles and death-soaked castaways, a chance at life on a brand new day.
There. Thought you deserved one of my finest poems, written to commemorate such a mighty feat. Oh, and this. Been keeping it for a very special occasion. Consider yourself just such an occasion.
Thank his best elf. Finally, Book of Skill.
Welcome. You found a way to bring down Chevron's barricade. It's at times like these I recall I'm a man of action, not words. Should we encounter each other in the forest, the roast boar's on me, my friend.
Well, at least now you're not telling that
Farewell.
you're like my inspiration for doing that.
Some have dared hope for a better life beyond Prisoner's Gate. Not me. My place is here, easing the suffering of exile as best I can.
But this she
While we live,
wants to
we are
stay
blessed.
here. Let's check a bit on the letters of exile. Maybe some new important names appear, which we already know. Or there are some that we should remember.
Maramo of Namakanui, you have transgressed against your god and your fellow man. You have been a willing vessel for the following sins. Civil envy, inciting insurrection amongst the bonded workforce. 3 counts of insubordination to officers of the Ebony Legion. Mortal wrath, assaulting an officer of the Ebony Legion. 1 count of hericide. God has charged me with your redemption. You are hereby exiled to Rayclast, where it is hoped you shall come to repent your sins and make your peace with your beloved father.
We should remember her.
Kafar of Beecham, you have transgressed against your god and your fellow man.
Yeah.
Brilla of Cinderford, Hillock of Slough,
We know that
Olin
one.
of Theopolis,
Nope.
Baron of Inkley, Brilla of Cinderford, Carling of Murfield, Joy of Kimby, Brilla of Cinderford, Joy of Kimby,
It's hard because it's random.
Joy of Kimby, Brilla of Joy of Hadri of Ender of Rumsey, you have transgressed. Maitland of Theopolis, Missy of Nash, you have transgressed
Nashville.
against your Brilla of Cinderford, you have Lothar of Weatherdale, you have transgressed against your god and your fellow man. You have been a willing vessel for the following sins. Civil Baron of Inkley, you have transgressed against your god and your Olin of Theopolis, you have transgressed against your god and your fellow man. You have been a willing vessel for the following sins.
Living vessel of following sins. Following. That's a very nice phrase. I wonder if they really thought long about it.
Creighton of Theopolis, you have transgressed against your god
Yeah, we know
and your fellow
Creighton
man.
already.
You have been a willing vessel for the following sins. Unlawful Olin of Theopolis, Hadri of Dayton, Brilla of Cinderford.
Yeah, it seems that it's all for now.
Hello.
Okay. Movement. Move. Not move. Movement. Movement. Really. So we've got light. Slam, shield charge, flame dash, lightning warp, wither, and body swap. I'm gonna take 2 just in case. I'm gonna go with lightning warp. And flame dash. At least from what I remember, lightning warp had a bigger range, but it's casting slower, so you have to enhance it properly with For example, faster casting. And Flame Dash is very very nice. It leaves a trail of fire on the ground, but it uses charges. They regenerate automatically or gather automatically, but if you use them up and you don't have them, and you know how it goes. Now, oh. Yeah. Well, let's check one thing. Let's get rid of this. Strength, dexterity, intelligence, mana. It would be nice to have some additional rarity, and I'll just decrease my mana pool. We have it because it has a nice boost to my attributes, although that might be my demise a bit later. I need to like 18 points. Let's keep it like this for now.
Yes?
Okay. And the point. Right, I was supposed to explain in a couple of seconds. It's a couple of minutes now. Still, I'm heading towards a very interesting skill. It's mind over matter. Previously, well, it got nerfed in Legion. Not the skill itself, but the setting around it. Previously it had also 3 more skills that increased mana, and this skill is all about mana. So if I take damage, 1/3 of it goes from my mana pool. If I don't have enough mana, then it's not gonna work properly, because I need enough mana to mitigate the damage properly and also have enough to use my skills. If I will have a mitigation of 30%, that basically means that if I'm supposed to get 10 damage, or let's say 9 damage, yeah? Then 1/3 of it will be taken from my mana pool. So, the 30% I need to have like half of my health pool, at least, in my mana pool. So because it's like proportions. If 2/3 of my damage can go to my health, and that's 600, then the last third, it's 300. And I'm already using clarity to increase my regeneration. So I'm a bit below my requirement, not even a bit. Clarity takes... Shit, come on. Clarity takes 100 mana points. So, yeah. So I have 200 just to mitigate my damage. I'm gonna be casting 2 totems in a short period of time, and my regeneration currently is and where is it? It's 15 per second. So I need 3 seconds to be at full mana after casting 2 totems. So I should actually cast 2 totems every 3 seconds. Yeah, make it work. And of course, it also means that if I wanna cast 2 totems and I get a strong punch in my face, I might be defenseless for, well, at least a second and a half if I'm out of my mana potion. Yeah. And, well, I have to get that mana from somewhere, and it's not that easy. Here I can get some regeneration, but that's only regeneration. Closest mana is here, here, a bit here. Yeah, this is more about... This is actually nice. 20% at least. And then here, here. I'm gonna have to really think about it before resolving the problem with the bandits, because that regeneration and those resistances might not be good enough for me if I can squeeze a bit more mana for killing Alira. Because actually, well, porting any of the bandits gives us their bonus, but completing the quest for Eranir, so actually killing all 3 of them, gives us 2 passive points, and that's considerable.
So Creighton has fallen, a worthy achievement on your part, and yet you serve Alira? Not so worthy. You strike me as someone who craves a higher purpose than that, something like peace. Every day my brethren must battle and die with Alira's
They're quite eager to fight.
To spare the lives of many, you need take only one. But if peace isn't reward enough for you, bring me the amulet that hangs around Alira's worthless neck. I trust you have Creighton's in hand already? I thought so. When joined with mine, those trinkets will forge us a new strength, you and I. The strength to bring about peace.
Life regeneration, physical damage reduction, is global physical damage. A great choice if you're going for something more tanky, and definitely melee. Not today, Oak. Yeah, that's it for his wild bunch. Jumping Jack Flash. And Oak is no more.
There's the peace your lies have earned you.
I'm not gonna go to Alira yet. I need some time to think about it. For now, I will progress while I still can. And when that's no longer possible, I'm gonna do some math and then make twice. So here we have the three notes that we have to poison. And voila! Open sesame, we have Val ruins to our disposal. Also, in terms of development, character development, two more points from getting this mean that we can actually use another jewel socket. And remember that I bought 2 first snows. So it would make my chilling even more devastating, and I would have even more projectiles. Sounds nice. More projectiles mean more coverage from my attacks. Why do I have to here? Damn, I forgot about it. Okay, let's leave out Spell Cascade for now. And let's use the wonderful Flame Dash. Bam, and I'm here. Ain't that nice? It's very useful when you're going through any labyrinth tiles. But sometimes it's easier to just do some jumping instead of trying to do it the way it was designed. Of course, it was designed also to be omitted. That's why we're using it, but yeah. It's better sometimes not to use the most straightforward.
To damnation with you!
To damnation with you. Precisely. You probably know by now that sometimes when we defeat a rare monster, our character uses a catchphrase from his list. Even later, when we're gonna pretend that we're more serious about going through the content, you'll notice that I'm not usually using the full character speed that is available. Even now, I could use the potions that would make me run faster. clear faster. But I don't really like them. Sometimes you have to, because you have certain objectives that you have to fulfill in a limited amount of time. So I'm gonna have them later in my equipment. Now it's all about health and mana. Although I rarely use them. But, well, the difficulty curve is quite forgiving. It's funny how the torches lighten up when you get close to a place that you haven't ventured yet. Ancient Seal.
I beg of you, God, help me to lead this world back into the light.
Yeah. Oopsie. So, while going through the ruins, we freed some ancient evil shit. Not your typical heroic fantasy plot twist, huh? Yeah, you don't know who you're supposed to hit? Wrong, wrong, miss. Ha! So now it's 368. Now it's 392. Yeah, until we actually pick mind over matter, we don't have to worry about reserving our mana. Regeneration is more important. This is actually a very side location. Going through here doesn't give you anything at all, apart from an achievement, as far as I remember. And that's gonna be a bit spoilerish of me, but it's good to see, while going through these locations, that there are actually some alternate routes that in other circumstances might have been usable. Okay, I needed to check if I unlocked the waypoint, the forest. Because if I go deep enough, it's easier to portal out and use the waypoint to go back. Oh, okay, that's how they did it. I still remember the times when hideout locations worked on a totally different level and had a different way of being unlocked. So now, to ensure that people want to visit this place, they made it possible to unlock one of them here. Because there are several hideouts, all of them serve the same purpose, which I'm not gonna discuss yet. And they're all basically the same in terms of utility, but they just have a different feel. So you have a cavern in the forest, some sewers, library, stuff like that. Oh, frenzied monster. You have to sometimes watch out for them. Yeah, that's very nice about tokens and using opening chests. Usually before you get away, the monsters are already dead. Okay, you see, if I overuse the totem summoning a bit, I can get drained really fast. One handy thing which I didn't show you yet. If you type remaining after a dash, it's not a dash, but you get the idea. If I type remaining, it shows me how many monsters are left in this specific location. 5. That's not good. That's something I really wanna waste more time on. Let's get back to the forest. And let's explore a bit more before the moment of the final choice is reached. And I need to decide on the fate of Alira. of course, as apart from being partially a role-playing game, let's say, it's mainly concerned with action and min-maxing of statistics, so it's not that they would let me make a decision that I cannot change. It's that changing the outcome of the quest, the switching the bonus, requires a lot of currency, and well, to be honest, considering the fact that I'm level 26, it would be actually faster for me to make a new character instead of trying to farm what I need to reverse it. Okay, so please do that. The caverns. Well, we went through some Val ruins. We're exploring the place in order to find some hidden and unknown evil entity. Which made all dark in the vicinity, in our surroundings. And it's almost sure to say at this point that it must be of Val origin. We found it in Val ruins. It was something that probably wasn't supposed to be touched forever. So, yeah. Wow. You Mr. Teddy Bear. Yep, I heard that. That's the dink-dink I talked to you about. Then there are different dink-dinks depending on the items. Wow. Well. A waypoint, an entrance to some ruins. Let's unlock this. And let's make a pause for now so we can do the map. See you soon. Okay, guys. So, I did the math. Basically, I think that with what I'm going at the moment, I should probably have something like 1500 mana points, and I don't usually have more than like 4k and something for 50 health points, like 4500 or 1500. So it should be more or less okay. I'm gonna try to, of course, balance it out with items, because I didn't count the items in it. So I should have enough to effectively use it as a defense mechanism. I shouldn't have problems by summoning the totems and sustaining them. So I will go for keeping Alira alive. I'm gonna use the additional resistances to keep my equipment more or less cheap while having my resistances maxed. And if I would ever be in a situation when I wouldn't need that additional 15% resistance to all how do I call it? There was a fancy name. Shit.
Nothing like this happens until
Yeah.
here.
Give me a break.
Bring back the light, or you will find my spear in your throat.
Yeah, and you're gonna find my spear in your mama. Huh. Where's the stick? Stick usually had that nice name. Shit. Come on.
Going?
I dreamed this. A vast creature, a thing of shadow. I saw it escape from a black prison and climb a man-crafted mountain, drifting up its 4 sheer sides like the mist that reaches for the clouds. It gathered at the peak of that mountain and ate the heart from the sun. You smell of that black mist and something else. Guilt. That is it, yes. Guilt is a strong illness. It gnaws at the spirit until there is nothing left, until you are one of the walking corpses.
Yeah. Shit, I forgot the word.
Lorata is dead. It is not news to me.
So Lorata is the spider.
Its grief.
Probably.
You need not carry the blame. This was Lorata's will. I do not question why she allowed you to end her days.
Elemental damage.
Where she might still help us.
So, elemental resistance. That's what I wanted to say.
What has happened? Did the world not rise from its sleep? How do we wake it up? Please, what should we do?
Yeah.
There's one bright spot in this darkness you've released. At least it was you who did it, and you can undo it, I know it. Had it been piety, we'd likely never see the sun again.
We'll see about that.
You disappear into that vile ruin, and now the sky, the light, the very land limps as a leper. Somehow, whether through deliberate act or accident, you've caused this. Now we all suffer your consequences. Different good, different bad, We now know upon which side the coin has fallen.
Yeah.
You've put an end to old Lorata? Twisted of heart and mind were the men who made that gem and that implement of black surgery. And what of the one who chooses to wield their creations? Of course, I wish to know the secrets locked in that tomb, but not
Okay, so it was not the spider. Sorry for the mistake. They're talking about the tree.
That ancient gateway to the northwest. It's a peculiar thing, not of the Eternal Empire. It could be Val in origin, a culture I've seen
First
mentioned
the
here
clan,
in some
now
of the most
Lorata.
antique of texts.
Ah
It is
shit,
the
Willy, you're
Val
making
who made
a
use of
lore-wise
long before our imperial
playthrough and you talk
ancestors.
shit like this.
Little else is known about them. If only I had my old museum archives, I could have given you a more tempered
Eramir,
theory.
I'm here. Speak to me.
You have done what none of us could, not even the fierce Groost. And while we are grateful, we dare not sleep with both eyes shut just yet. The balance of power has gone. In overthrowing two lords, you have created an empress in Alira.
Well,
fare you well.
I don't think that he was listening to us, but I think it's not decided yet. Right? Yeah, now the Greece proclamation is on this side of the map. I wonder if it means that the spiders are gonna be on this side now. Not really. That's why movement skills are useful. Back at the camp, let's try the other side. Ah. Yeah, so the spider is on the other side.
You come to me in dark times, Exile. No, dark isn't the right word for what's befallen my forest. Twisted it is, in every sense of the word. Reliable and deadly. What a truly lovely combination. I do hope you mentioned my name as Creighton and Oak bled their last into the dirt. You did? How sweet. Now the amulets, if you please. You and I have hungry spirits to satiate.
5 mana regenerated per second, critical multiplier increased, and elemental resistance. Ah, hell.
That was almost better than Ori.
Now, let's get out of here ASAP. To the caverns. Ah, wait. First, Iena.
I dreamed this. A vast creature. A thing of shadow. I saw it escape from a black prison and climb a man-crafted
She
mountain,
already told us that.
drifting up its 4 sheer sides like... Be kind, if you can.
For all of her strange ways, I've learned not to discount Gina's more vivid dreams. She's in tune with this land in ways I find difficult to comprehend. As to this man-crafted mountain she describes, I have seen only one structure of its like. Stumbled across sketches in the Theopolis archives, a piece of Val engineering, pyramidal in architecture. According to those documents, the pyramid lies north of the Frisian forest, buried beneath the mantle upon which San rests. I have no idea whether it still exists, or ever existed for that matter. Still, considering the current circumstances, there isn't much to lose in the search, is there?
We shall see. Here, there isn't really much to ponder upon. We have a pyramid. We're at the entrance of it. Pyramids are usually layered, so we're gonna have to go through a couple of levels until we reach the top, where evil itself is hidden. Ideally, we want to level up while getting there, but considering the rate at which we are gaining experience, it won't be a problem. Now we are moving within the same level, but the stairs are leading us to other parts of it. Wants us to give the feeling that we're going higher, but you can actually see this place here on the minimap where we entered. Since we're gonna fight a boss, I find it more suitable at this moment. Open this jewel slot and unleash the full potential of Cursed Snow. Behold! Five projectile called Annihilation. And now we're at the pyramid's apex. We have to use our amulet to activate the altar. Here we go. Behold the Val Oversoul. We're fighting monsters from different ages, and we're still running in our pajamas. And it's down. So,
Back where you belong, Nightmare. The faithful need not fear your kind.
the darkness decided to focus in an ancient well machine, and after using our amulet, it was forced to fight with us. In general, we learned about the Val, of their existence, and we learned how the corruption was perceived by normal people living here. Time for Act 3. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to share them. Subscribe to my channel if you wanted to be up to date with all the videos that are published, and see you later, alligators. Bye, 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 bye.
Sarn, birthplace of the Templar. A fitting place to put things right.